What's the pettiest thing you've seen an officer do? Lieutenant Colonel Marcus Webb had a problem with our mess hall coffee. Not the taste, not the temperature, but the fact that enlisted soldiers got the same coffee as officers. This started when Specialist Davis, our company's best mechanic, walked into the officer's dining area by mistake, grabbed a cup of coffee, realized his error, apologized, and left immediately. Webb lost his mind. Called an emergency formation at 6 a.m. the next morning. Coffee privileges are now segregated by rank, he announced. Officers get Colombian blend, enlisted get standard military issue. We thought he was joking. He wasn't. Within a week, the mess hall had 2 separate coffee stations. Different brands, different machines, even different colored cups. But Webb wasn't done. He noticed enlisted guys walking past the officer station to get to the regular line. Too much temptation, he declared. Ordered a physical barrier built between the 2 coffee areas. Maintenance crew spent 3 days constructing a plywood wall down the middle of the mess hall. 6 feet high, painted regulation green. Cost the unit $2,000 in materials and labor. Still not satisfied, Webb implemented a coffee inspection protocol. Randomly checked soldiers' cups to ensure they weren't drinking above their pay grade. Caught one private with officer coffee, gave him extra duty for a week. The absurdity escalated when Webb started timing coffee breaks. Officers got 15 minutes, enlisted got 10, posted guards to enforce the timing with stopwatches. That's when Sergeant Major Williams intervened. 28 years in the Army, 3 combat deployments, more ribbons than a Christmas tree. He'd had enough. Williams requested a private meeting with Webb. What happened behind closed doors is classified, but Webb emerged pale and shaking. The coffee segregation ended immediately. Turns out Williams had documented everything. Photos of the wall, copies of Webb's memos, testimony from soldiers, sent it all to the Inspector General with a cover letter describing the most ridiculous abuse of authority in military history. The investigation lasted 2 months. Webb tried to justify his actions as maintaining proper military hierarchy and discipline. The IG wasn't buying it. Webb got relieved of command, transferred to a desk job at the Pentagon. His replacement, Major Sarah Johnson, tore down the coffee wall on her first day. Coffee is coffee, she announced. Worry about real problems, not imaginary ones. But the damage was done. Webb's coffee war became legend throughout the entire division. Other units started sending care packages filled with premium coffee beans, addressed to the Oppressed Enlisted of Coffee Company. Local newspapers picked up the story. Army officer wages war on caffeine equality, made front page news. Webb became a national laughingstock. The wall got turned into a memorial of sorts. Johnson kept one piece as a reminder of how petty leadership can destroy morale. Mounted it in her office with a plaque reading, "What Not to Do." Webb's military career never recovered. Passed over for promotion twice, forced into early retirement. His Wikipedia page lists coffee segregation incident as his primary accomplishment. The mess hall still serves the same coffee to everyone, but soldiers still joke about pulling a Webb whenever someone gets too focused on trivial authority displays. Davis, the mechanic whose accidental coffee grab started it all, got promoted to staff sergeant. At his promotion ceremony, Johnson presented him with a custom coffee mug reading, "Rank has its privileges, coffee doesn't." Williams retired the following year. His farewell speech included the line, "I fought real enemies in 3 wars, but the most dangerous opponent I ever faced was a lieutenant colonel with too much time and too little common sense." The story became required reading at leadership schools across all branches. Case study in how not to exercise command authority. Webb's name became synonymous with petty tyranny. Years later, soldiers still visit that mess hall specifically to drink coffee where the Great Coffee War of 2018 took place. Tour guides point out where the wall used to stand, because sometimes the pettiest actions create the most lasting lessons about what real leadership looks like.